This as a number of names in the group trade in correction territory or worse. Applied Materials plunging off its earnings report last night, now in bear market. Broadcom, Advanced Micro, Micron, all flirting with disaster. So should you stay away from this chip wreck? Let's get in the money right now. Dan, what do you say?
I think so. You know, you just said it's down 8% from its all-time highs made a couple months ago, but it's really had this really nice bounce over the last month or so. So to me, the way I think about this is, you know, this AMAT news today was really bad, and just the reaction to the news was really bad. They printed a quarter where sales were up 29% year over year, and they guided down the current quarter sales down only 2.25%. The stock's down 8.25%. That's a little crazy. That's investors getting a little uneasy about the guidance that they're hearing. And I just want to give you an event that's happening next week. One of the biggest bull stories in all of chips is Micron. They're going to host an analyst meeting next week. And this is a company, when they reported in late March, they had a beat and raise, and the stock sold off 8% the next day, still down considerably from its recent highs. So I think this sets up pretty interesting. If Micron can't rally after its analyst meeting next week, I think you have a situation with this chart of the SMH where it really does look like a head and shoulders top here. You could see this thing come back below 100, possibly as low as 95, last month's low here. So here's the trade. We're going to use a butterfly structure. We're going to talk about this a little bit tonight here, but right now I want to talk about what exactly a butterfly is. It's buying a put spread and it's selling a put spread, and the guts in the middle of that are kind of overlap a little bit. But let me tell you exactly the trade. Today when the SMH closed at 104.55, you can look at July expiration and buy the July 105.95, 85 put butterfly for about $2. What I'm doing here is I'm buying one of the July 105 puts at $3.80. I'm selling two of the July 95 puts, so two of those, okay, at 105 each, or 210 total, and then I'm buying one way out of the money, July 85 put for 30 cents. You do the math, that costs you $2, all right? You're not going to be doing this individually. You're going to put it in your online system, and you're going to price up a $10 wide butterfly, okay? Your break-evens are down at 103, that's the $2 in premium, less the 105 strike you're long. Your max gain is at that 95, at the middle part of the butterfly. You can make up to $8, okay? You can actually make up to $8 in July expiration between 95 and 87, and then again, you risk $2 between 87 and 85. Your worst case scenario, the stock is below 85. That's not going to happen between now and July expiration. You lose that $2, or above 105, you lose that $2. You are risking right here. You think about it. The stock closed at 104.55. You're risking $2 to make a very near the money bet and playing for a move back to that support at $95.
You don't often talk about the structure, so I don't want to gloss over it too much, but I think the key, and when I was learning options, when this show first started, and I'm still learning options, by the way, the thing to remember is that you sell the guts. The guts of the butter, the middle part is what you sell, and you buy the wings.
The general rule with options is that if you're targeting a direction, you want the underlying, or you're expecting the underlying to run to your short strikes, which in a case of a fly are the gut strikes that he just talked about. You know, one of the things about a butterfly that we sometimes say is that you're trying to thread the needle a little bit, because in theory, you're targeting a specific price at a specific point in time. In this case, $95 in 2 months. With an index or an index proxy like SMH, that can actually make a lot of sense, though, because consider what kind of a move that is. You're making a bet that it's going to decline approximately 10% over the course of 2 months. Take a look at the trading range for the semiconductor holders index, and what you're going to see is that that's essentially the lower end of that range. So, and the reason you buy that way out of the money put, by the way, is that's the disaster protection. All right, let's say it runs to the 95 and it just keeps on going. That's essentially what protects you to the downside in case the move is a lot bigger than you're expecting.
And basically what we know is happening is that this very important leading index is essentially stuck at its 1999-2000 high. The peak was March 10th, 2000, and basically, if you look at a 20-year chart, for the better part of a year and a half, we've been churning at that level. It has all the elements of a double top, and the chart, of course, that Dan has for us is the prospective beginning of a head and shoulders top on an intermediate basis. And we know you're getting drops and gaps out of Avago, AMAT. And if you net out Intel, which is one of the biggest weights, the index doesn't even look as good as it is. it's a problem.
Well, I'll throw out the second biggest weight is Taiwan Semi, and that thing it's down almost 20% from its highs. They're the ones who make these chips for people who outsource them, that go into smartphones, that sort of thing. Here's the thing about this trade. This is really about fundamentals. It's not about my charts and my lines and this and that, whatever. They help inform the strikes of this trade structure, but if we get the fundamental story right, if Micron can't rally next week after, let's say, good news at their analyst meeting, then investors are going to start discounting this cycle to be ending sooner than later, and then you are going to want to be short one of the biggest outperforming groups in technology. Even though they're cheap stocks, they're cheap for a reason. They're very cyclical.
Are you a stock or an options trader that is absolutely fed up with ordinary results? Are you ready for your breakthrough? I know how you feel, because everywhere I turned throughout my trading journey, everywhere I looked how to produce phenomenal results within a short amount of time, everybody was telling me, no, it's not possible. It's not real. It cannot be done. So I got fed up. I discovered the 5 core fundamentals that helped me turn $12,000 into $466,814 in less than 7 hours trading options from my laptop. I know this probably sounds unrealistic to some of you, but the truth is I did it. I will share with you in this interactive video course specifically everything, every single detail, every action, every stock that was traded. As a matter of fact, I'm sending you my brokerage stake, listing every trade that was taken that day. I realized one thing when I accomplished this, is that I wish I had someone years ago when I was starting my trading journey and throughout my trading career that has shared these 5 core fundamental principles with me, because that would have saved me a lot of headache. That would literally save me a lot of heartaches, a lot of lost and suffered relationships. That would have saved me a lot of losses. That would have saved me a lot of time from discovering all these answers on my own. This is what you will be able to learn from this interactive video course. Secret number 1, discover the best stocks for trading options. Secret number 2, discover the top 3 best chart patterns for huge returns. Do you struggle with the decision, should I sell now or should I wait? And sometimes when you make a decision, do you see your profits vanish, or do you drown in the regret when you get out of the position just because you see how much money you left on the table? Don't let this ever happen to you again. Secret number 3, discover the key to locking the gains. Secret number 4, knowing the trend will make you money. Discovering the TRO versus the trend will make you a fortune. Secret number 5, the holy grail of all secrets in trading: timing. Can you only imagine if you knew specifically on which days to trade and on which days to go fishing and enjoy life? And the secret number 6, the truth behind of how to trade the news that will take all the guesswork out of the equation and will help you trade with great confidence and extremely high probability. Today is your day. Are you ready for your breakthrough? It is very simple. Go to marketcrash.money/500K. Click this big orange button and say, yes, set me free. Take action now.